Hey, what's happening? It's Jamie. I'm just doing a quick video. I'm off today. Um, this is Webull. It's my watch list. I'm just sharing what I'm into today as far as anything I'm adding. So ultimately, my rule of thumb is to add long term. I'm not a day trader. I tried that, didn't really work very well for me. I've done well with swing and just investing. Um, Investing like meaning I'm just accumulating shares. I do buy some. I do mess around with some options and some shares, but I'm not like certainly not trying to make a living on day trading. All right, and I'm not saying that you can't. A lot of people are very successful at it. It's just not so much for me. Fresh Pet, Chewy, and Wolf are my pet sector choices that I've been watching. I told you they're a little bit up today. Everything on my Webull watch list was red. When I looked at it earlier, everything was red. It was all the percentages were down. So it looks like it recovered a little bit, but that doesn't mean much as we're in that kind of a downtrend market of things, the market reacting to the Fed and tax rate hikes, et cetera, and all that stuff. So I just put those at the top because I was looking for an opportunity. I think some of the things I've learned is to keep some cash available, whether you have $100, 1,000, 10,000, et cetera, et cetera. You can have that money available to buy, and whether you're doing like a 401k, that's a little bit different because if you have something at work like I do, I add each month, and I can pick the percentage of how much I want to add into my, like I think at work we use a Vanguard, fund that we use. And then if you do a Roth IRA type of thing and you're doing like adding to your own portfolio versus just your own stuff, which is like what I have fun with doing, and I spend so much money every month. And a little bit I keep on the side as I was like, oh, there's an opportunity, and I want to keep some money available to do that. Okay, so I was looking at Cleanspark and Volta today because that was one of the things I'm looking at long term, as charging stations seems to be an opportunity. Cleanspark, the analysts here at Webull, there's only two analysts reports, and they say it's a strong buy and a buy, so it's one of each, and that doesn't mean you should do it, and it doesn't mean they can't change their value. So they say that it should be, the low should be around 16, the mid at 25, and the high of 35. So based on that, of course, you'd say, hey, a lot of opportunity there for an upside. But I figured at $7, it was right around there. I think I got it right around there, 7 something. I started to buy, but I'd already had some, so my average cost is probably around 9 something. Let's see if I go to the chart, it'll actually show me. So here in Webull, I have 71 shares at $9.44. So obviously if it goes to $12, I'd be happy, or 15 or higher, or 25. And I'm just kind of seeing, let me move myself out of the way. I look at that RSI chart at the bottom. As generally it goes down, it hits the 30 or below, goes to the 20, stays there for a while, or, then pops back up. Doesn't mean it's going to go to 70 or above, but it generally does. It's kind of like if you push something down in water and you let it go, it does just end up coming up. So I'm watching that previous high of 150. That would be awesome, but I'm not looking at that right now. I'm just kind of thinking, all right, I can just add some shares, 10 here, 20 here, and just kind of build it. I have 140, less than 145 shares between this and Robinhood. That's the two platforms I'm using for this one. And as I get 100 in each account, then I just sell the premiums for options where at a stock price I don't think it'll go to. Like I kind of push it way out of the money, and if I can collect 25 to 50 bucks, or more, just for holding the stocks anyway, great. I'm happy to do that. It kind of offsets my costs and it goes into my pocket, into the portfolio pocket. So here it seems like, it could go lower, but I'm thinking there's some upside eventually when I look at these indicators, right? Like the moving averages. You get a 200-day moving average is well under that. It's under the 9-day moving average. It's under the 60. So it's under all the moving averages. So right now it's just definitely moving down. So I'm just looking to dollar cost average in, as if I have $500 that I want to allocate towards EV charging station stocks like this, I don't want to spend all of it today. I would like to say, all right, let me see. Maybe it goes a little lower. Maybe I can get it at I put 693, that little line there. Like maybe it gets closer to 6, under $7, and maybe I'll add another 20, 30, 50 shares. So my target for this is to have between the two platforms around 100 shares each. So 200 shares, I have 140. So I might buy another 60, maybe 60 to 160, is that right? 100, yeah. So right around there where I'd have maybe 200 or 300 shares total. And that's what I'm thinking at the moment. For an upside, just kind of looking at it, again, some of the guys that are way, like men and women, they're way more successful, massively successful. I'm just trying to learn from them, and I just share that stuff. And I was really encouraged the other day. I had a guy that worked with me. I was talking about Activision a while back, and we were just talking, and I gave him my take on it, why I thought Activision, for example, Blizzard is like, it's a gaming company, and I think, hey, there's upside. So he decided, after doing his own research, to get in there, and he told me yesterday, he's like, oh man, thanks. I made, I think he told me he made $900, and I was like, man, that's awesome. And then he bought Ford. He sold it and bought Ford because I think that had gone up. So I thought it was smart to kind of like lock in some profits there. But anyway, so back to that analyst thing. If the targeted mid-range is 25 and even the low is 16, it's $7-8. I mean, that's a pretty good value. So if you're Warren Buffett and a lot of guys that follow him practice that double, rule of doubling. So you say, okay, what's a stock that's worth $1 that right now is discounted to 50 cents? That's a value. And if you can do that and pick the right ones and be patient, then over the next months, right, even years, those will recover and maybe, far exceed, they're undervalued. You're going to be happy you have 10, 50, 100, 1,000 something shares of that, company. So that's what I've been doing. And there's only so much money you can kind of do that. I wish I knew this stuff earlier. I was talking to a friend of mine who, I'll leave his name out, but he's a wealth management at a very popular bank. I don't know if my buddy's the vice president, or I think he's high up there. I didn't, I don't ask him for anything, but he was just sharing with me that from a very early age, we've known each other since middle school. And, here we are, he's 49, I'm 48. And we're just talking about, I said, man, I never knew that stuff when I was a kid. I was a pretty troubled young man, and he just went to college and got into finance right away. And he goes, that's how I was taught, Jamie, right from an early age. And I think that's really important. I hope that my kids will learn that stuff and what I've been able to do and kind of the direction I've been going in these past few years. I see results. Again, I like to use diet and exercise as a rule of thumb. If you just do a little bit, you're going to see some results. If you do a lot, you see a lot more results. And if you do nothing, you're going to get results one way or the other. So Cleanspark is one of them. Let me see how, okay. Got 2 minutes left. And Volta, I'll go through this one really quick. Is a high of, looks like, of 18. That's a weekly. I'll change it to a daily. Again, if you look at the daily, it's well below 30. It's got to be close to 20. If I look at a different chart on a different platform like TradingView or something, I'm sure that is close to 20 under the RSI, well over everything on the moving averages. Over here on Webull, I have 124 shares. I think I have another 150 or so shares on Robinhood. Again, I don't just trade on that. I have Thinkorswim, Fidelity, E-Trade, but those are two where I know I have around almost 300 shares. This one, analysts, there's 5 analysts here. They say it's a good, strong buy, 80% of them. Low value of 9, mid-range of 13, high of 18. And then, like when you go to platforms like TipRanks, like Tesla, they say the highest 1,500. So it just gives you something to kind of look at. These guys, obviously, that's what they're paid to do. And you can plug in whatever you want to check out. So if you put Volta, you can either put the ticker symbol or the actual stock, and it'll tell you what the hopefully this works, but it'll tell you what the target is, right? So this is average price of 12, and so on and so forth. This one says average price of 13, so pretty close. And I figured at $5, right, rule of doubling. If it goes to 10, that's pretty good, 50%. And it doesn't matter how long it takes, because again, charging stations, these are things that are going to happen. So that's what I'm looking at. I promise I want to keep it under 10 minutes. I hope that helps a little bit. I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye.